Okay, I don't usually do this, but let me go ahead and clarify the last clip on my page. First of all, that was not my experience. That was not my scenario. That is not an experience that I have had. But you would have to watch the whole episode to understand. Number two, I don't know if you know it or not, but this thing is a muscle. We have the capability of pushing out 10-pound babies. And although you may be well and endowed, a couple of ounces really doesn't have anything on a 10-pound baby. It's a muscle. It does snap back. And I stand on that for most women, not all, clearly. Nonetheless, moving on. Number three, I say that to say people can come to you with much logic that seems to make sense to prove why they're not cheating on you or they haven't done anything behind your back, but they're usually lying. People who have to brag about, see, you didn't find anything in my phone, or I went to sleep with Jack, Jack's married. Nobody cares. People who brag and boast about how you haven't caught them are usually lying. Another thing, men can't out cheat women, maybe from a quantity standpoint, but not necessarily from a sneaky standpoint. Women will take things to the grave. I've talked to women who have slept with their side dudes while their main dudes were in the bathroom, or had their side dudes and their main dudes working and playing basketball together and moving furniture. Don't be naive to think these things can't happen to you because of who you are, because these things are actually literally happening. Being naive is probably why these STD rates are so high. Georgia being number 2 in the top states, with Louisiana being number 1 and New York being number 3. Ask for paperwork. It's okay to get tested, but just don't be so naive to think you know everything that's going on, because we live in a wicked world. Find someone you love and you can trust and lock in, because...
All right, shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rachakwadash. Giving double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Peace and salutations to the brethren that I came out there on the highways and byways pushing this truth with 100% sincerity. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, and peace and salutations to the few and sincere sisters who believe in this gospel, right? So as you see here in the video, a woman, so-called black woman, basically, I guess what the point that she was making is that women are better cheaters than men, right? It's a video on her page, but it was before this one. She was kind of touching on that. It was on somebody's podcast. She was a little bit more vulgar on there. So I'm not going to play that one. But basically what she was saying is that, you know, women can be a lot sneaky. Women are a lot sneakier when it comes to women committing adultery and everything like that, which is very true. That is 100% true. They are much more sneakier. They're much more crafty, much more cunning, because for one, just the nature of it, they have to be, right? They have to be. And two, it's a thrill to them as well, because you know, if any woman that you deal with is messing around on you and she still does have some kind of respect for you, she's not going to allow you to find out. But she is going to, you know, run around with a different man or different men on you and, you know, do various different things that are going to, you know, possibly make you jealous, right? Which we have a law on that, where let me go ahead and get that in the book of Numbers chapter 5, I believe. Yep, the adultery test, right? So, you know, back in our day, when we were in our land, we had a way of comfort, right? To where if we believed our woman to be committing adultery, we had a way where we were able to basically find out, right? Where the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua would be able to reveal that to us and, you know, let us know, to give us comfort what's really going on with the woman we've chosen to, you know, to take as a wife, right? So This is Numbers chapter 5, starting at verse 11. It says, "And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, If any man's wife go aside and commit a trespass against him, and the man lie with her carnally, and it be hid from the eyes of her husband, and be kept close, and she be defiled, and there be no witness against her, neither she be taken with the manner," because in the law, you had to be to condemn someone, there had to be 2 or 3 witnesses, right? Or multiple witnesses. So in this situation, let's say she was, cunning and crafty enough to do it where, nobody saw her, or nobody caught her, or nobody, saw her sneaking around, or whatever she did. She might have went somewhere secluded or whatever, right? And let's say the spirit of jealousy came upon you, there was still another way to find out if, she's doing what you suspect her to be doing, right? This is verse 14. It says, "And the spirit of jealousy come upon him, and he be jealous of his wife, and she be defiled. Or if the spirit of jealousy come upon him, and he be jealous of his wife, and she be not defiled," right? "Then shall the man bring his wife unto the priest, and he shall bring her offering for her, the 10th part of an ephah of barley meal. He shall pour no oil upon it, nor put frankincense thereon, for it is an offering of jealousy, and that's like an offering of memorial." No, Salakia. Right? Says an offering of memorial, bringing iniquity to remembrance. And the priest shall bring her near and set her before the Lord. And the priest shall take the holy water in an earthen vessel, and of dust that is in the floor of the tabernacle, the priest shall take and put it in water. And the priest shall set the woman before the Lord, and uncover the woman's head, and put the offering of memorial in her hands, which is the jealousy offering. And the priest shall have in his hand the bitter water that causeth the curse, right? Verse 19, "And the priest shall charge her by an oath, and say unto the woman, If no man have lain with thee, and if thou hast not gone aside to uncleanness with another instead of thy husband, be thou free from this bitter water, and that causeth the curse. But if thou hast gone aside to another instead of thy husband, and if thou be defiled, and some man have lain with thee beside thine husband, then the priest shall charge the woman with an oath of cursing. And the priest shall say unto the woman, The Lord make thee a curse and an oath among thy people, when the Lord doeth make thy thigh to rot and thy belly to swell," right? So if the woman, if your wife did commit adultery on you, and, she stepped out with another man, this was the way, and you had the spirit of jealousy come upon you, this was the way where we were able to receive that comfort and find out if it was true or not. Because nowadays, for instance, we still get the spirit of jealousy, and this is a part of, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah putting the curses on us and taking away the comforts that we have, right? Nowadays, if you still get the spirit of jealousy, right, from the woman that you may be dealing with, if she is dealing with somebody else, that spirit of jealousy still comes upon you, but you just have to sit there. You have to sit there in that jealousy and wonder and ask her certain questions to try and catch her up in her words, and you know what I'm saying, try and sit there and meditate sit there and meditate on the shit she done said, and put shit together, and put 1 and 1, put 1 plus 1 and 2 plus 2 and 4 plus 4. And if it don't come out right, then you know in your spirit what's going on, but then you still keep on. you still stay with it and all this other bullshit, man. Like, that's what we got to go through today. Whereas in the ancient times, right, where we were in our land, we didn't have to do that. We didn't have to sit there and go through all these things and sit in all this just wondering about stuff and wonder what's going on and wonder what she is doing, what she's not doing, this and that, and blah blah blah, right? So, you know, that was the way that we would know back in ancient times, right? Just now it's not like that anymore, right? Let's go into some more scriptures. Sirach chapter 25 and verse 19, it says, all wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. Let the portion of a sinner fall upon her, right? So the wickedness of a woman is but little to all of other wickedness in the world. You know what I'm saying? Meaning that when it comes to the lengths that women are willing to go and what they're willing to do for their own agendas, you know what I'm saying, like, for example, you have a lot of women who will commit adultery on their man and will have him set up to be murdered, robbed, killed, whatever, you know. You have a lot of women, especially here in Babylon the Great, where paternity test or paternity fraud is at a rate of like 45%, something like that. Almost half of the children that are born now are not born to the fathers that are believed to be the fathers, but are born by somebody else, right? And, you know, in this system, you know, you have a child be born to a man and it's not really his child, and he'll be on the hook for child support, you know what I'm saying? Or he'll be, you know, taking care of that child thinking that it's his, and then find out 18 years later that it's not his child anymore, or that it never was his child. You know what I'm saying? Or you've got things that, for example, there was a video one time I posted in the chat to the brothers, where it was basically a woman who's a lawyer. She's basically saying that if you are in a process of divorce, I think in the state of Georgia, yeah, I think that's where it's at, in the state of Georgia, if you're in the process of divorce and you're separated from your husband, you can put your husband on child support for kids that aren't even his, right? So you can be, for example, you could be divorcing her, or she could divorce you, and then she can go have a baby or two by some other guy, and then have you on the hook for it, right? Which that's wicked as hell. That's wicked as hell, especially, but that's the doing to Esau Edom. Esau Edom is the one who is enabling these things, enabling the women to be like this and be out of order like this, and just really be able to take advantage, take advantage of the man, right? Because, you know, we got this thing called women's rights and women's liberation and all of this stuff, and it's really just Esau Edom giving women the green light to go ahead and use her, weaponize her femininity, right? That's basically what it's giving her the green light to do, is weaponizing her femininity, weaponizing her sexuality against men, right? And this is what this devil wants. This devil wants that, because that's out of order, right? That destroys the family, that destroys the men of the coming generations, which we see that has already happened. And now you have a complete system of chaos, right? So yeah. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 30 and verse 20. Such is the way of an adulterous woman. She eateth and wipeth her mouth and saith, I have done no wickedness, right? So this is really just the Lord, just Yahweh Shem Yahweh warning us about the nature of the woman, how he's created these women to be, and just warning us about the nature that she has, and giving us the understanding of why she needs to be in order, why she needs to be in, in the state of submission to a man, right? Because, they will do things in wickedness, and then, really come right back around and act like it never happened. Do it again. If you catch her, she'll find an excuse to blame you for it or why she did it and everything like that. So it's like that's just the nature of women, and you have to have the understanding of the scriptures of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai to put her in order. Even though it's a lot of women out here, and a woman will be in order somewhat with a guy she likes. You just have to have the understanding enough to keep her in order. You know what I'm saying? If you're the man that she likes, that's really the key. Find the woman that likes you, and and just have enough understanding of the scriptures, which people call that game or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But really, when you look in the scriptures, the game was given to us by Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, right? The game was given to us. You know what I'm saying? So if you get that understanding, then you're able to keep her under that order. And that's why we say, coming into this truth is coming into your manhood, right? Because the only way you can have a woman in order is if you've brought yourself into order, right? With Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai and your manhood. You know what I'm saying? Coming into your manhood and how you're supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? That's really the only way you can have a woman in her order and where she's supposed to be. Is if you're where you're supposed to be. Right? Sirach, chapter 23 and verse 22. And it says, Thus shall it go also with the wife that leaveth her husband and bringeth in an heir by another. For the first, she hath disobeyed the law of the Most High. And secondly, she hath trespassed against her own husband. And thirdly, she hath played the whore in adultery and brought children by another. She shall be brought out into the congregation, and inquisition shall be made of her children. Her children shall not take root, and her branches shall bring forth no fruit. She shall leave her memory to be cursed, and her reproach shall not be blotted out. Right? So, like, in those days, it was a shame for a woman to commit adultery, right? It was a shame for a woman to commit adultery, right? So, like, a woman was marked, in the law, a woman who the woman and the man who committed adultery, right? They're supposed to be put to death. You know what I'm saying? But, there's situations where a woman basically, turn into harlotry, right? She's turned into the life of being basically just a harlot or a prostitute, you know what I'm saying? And she's looked at by society as somebody that is it's a big stigma on her, right? But now we live in, we live in the times of, the quote unquote where the working girl is praised, right? Hell, it's being promoted for women to be prostitutes, right? Women are promoting to each other that they should be prostitutes. Now, they don't want you to call them that. But when you listen to the things that a lot of these women say, I need my man that he think he gonna hit he got to pay this bill. He got to pay that bill. He got to do this. He got to do that. He got to make 6 figures. You know, he got to pay. He got to take care of me and all my kids. You know what I'm saying? All this other shit, right? But really, it is really just acceptable prostitution, you know. But you know, Lord, that's all I got for this lesson. Lord willing, it was edifying, straight to the point. I'm gonna give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rahakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone once again. And until next time.